Hey guys, welcome back to the Construction Veteran Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Friend. On today's Monday Musing, we're going to be talking about construction safety. Now, I'm actually recording this during Safety Week 2023, so a few weeks prior to when I'm releasing it. Even though we focus on it, especially this week, this is something that we all focus on every day in the industry. The safety of our people and how they go home is of the utmost importance. We want them to go home in the same way that they came to the job site. I believe that. You'll hear me say it time and time again, and the folks on my job site will tell you I mean what I say. I think safety in construction and in the military sometimes gets a really bad reputation. People see them as the safety police. Oh gosh, here comes the safety guy, they're called. It's not a bad thing though. If I'm doing something that maybe I don't realize I'm doing, or I forgot to put my glasses back on and somebody reminds me, I gotta humble myself and say, hey, I appreciate it. Because honestly, I want to go home and see my kids at the end of the day. I want my hands to be in good operating order so I can pick them up or pick my grandkids up someday. I got to think long term. Now, I've discussed on the podcast before that it does hurt people to go home and miss out on pay. However, if we have to send them home because we see maybe they have an unsafe behavior and need to be retrained, we would much rather see that person go home in one piece to their family rather than something horrific happen to them. Yes, missing out on a paycheck hurts. However, your family missing out on you for the rest of their lives is a lot worse. So most people know about organizations like OSHA, or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Now, this administration was put in place to make sure employers and employees both do their part to make sure that everybody goes home safely, or they're not exposing themselves to dangerous situations, dangerous chemicals, dangerous fumes, things like that. Now, I'm not recording this to be some sort of a safety orientation by any means. Every company is going to have their own rules. However, at a minimum, they have to be following the OSHA standards. Some companies will add to the OSHA standard, and that's okay. We just can't take away from it. A lot of people don't realize that if you do have an OSHA violation, there can be some very hefty charges. I've heard a lot of old school industry folks say, we're just getting out of hand with this safety stuff, that what are we going to be doing, wearing a bubble suit next? If I had $1 every time I heard that from somebody. But listen, a lot of this stuff is put in place, or this PPE, the protective gear that we have to wear on the job site, a lot of it's put in place because somebody was injured or maybe even killed before. So it's to try to prevent those accidents. When something like an incident occurs on a job site, there's an investigation that's done. Now we try to figure out what was at the root of this, and we call that a root cause analysis. So we back up. Could it be the crew was just working too long and a guy made a mistake and got hurt, or worse? Now I will say, just like there's some pretty rough superintendents out there, there's some rough safety folks as well that get a very bad rep. If your safety guy is walking around and instead of warning you about you're missing a ground prong on your extension cord and instead cuts it, that's probably not the best safety guy. The best safety people and superintendents look at the entire situation. Why was that extension cord missing a ground prong? Did the foreman even know about it, or the person that plugged it into the wall? Maybe it broke in the wall, who knows? Do the right thing, take it to them, and explain it to them. Tape it up, just make sure it doesn't come back on the job site. Now if it does, then yeah, go ahead and cut it, I don't care. Safety also gets a bad rep because a lot of people think the only reason they have a safety manager is to drive down their insurance costs. Yeah, that's a benefit of it, however, that's not the ultimate purpose. The ultimate purpose is to make sure that you go home as you, as a whole you. So guys, I know this was a quick one, but I wanted to talk to you about how construction safety can be a really good career path for a veteran. We know what it feels like to keep people safe in a very dangerous environment. And safety people get to care for their folks every single day like a good leader should. If you're a safety person, I would love to get you on the podcast. Give me a shout on my Gmail, leave a comment down below, and let's link up and share your story. Thanks, guys.